headlines. Atiku Obi rejects presidential election petition tribunal ruling head for Supreme Court. Kaduna community worried over declining state of health center. 2 dead, 1 injured in auto crash on Abeokuta-Lagos Expressway. And from the international scene, 64 people killed in terrorist attacks on passengers' boat, army base in Mali. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the news and details. At a press conference held at the national headquarters of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, in Abuja, the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has voiced his rejection on the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, the PEPT, ruling that upheld Bola Ahmed Tinubu's victory in the February 2023 election. Trust TV's Sagir Ibrahim reports.
While the court on Wednesday threw out Atiku's petitions, that of his Labour Party counterpart Peter Obi and the Allied People's Movement APM, Atiku of the main opposition party says he is undeterred and has instructed his lawyers to appeal the verdict.
I take great pains to tell you that the decision of the court of first instance on this matter utterly fails far short of expectation. I am therefore here to tell you that though the judgment of the court yesterday is respected, it is a judgment that I refuse to accept. I refuse to accept the judgment because I believe that it is bereft of substantial justice. Consequently, I have asked my lawyers to activate my constitutionally guaranteed rights of appeal to the higher court, which in the instance is the Supreme Court of Nigeria. It is my conviction that the electoral process in Nigeria should be devoid of untidy manipulations, and that the outcome of every election should be a perfect reflection of the wishes of the electorate.
While he is not sure if he will prevail, he says it forms part of his commitment towards ensuring credible elections for future generations to come.
Whether I prevail in this quest or not, the record of my effort in ensuring an order of credible elections in Nigeria shall remain for the future generations to emulate.
His party had earlier rejected the tribunal's verdict, saying it would consult its lawyers for the next course of action.
We have resolved, despite every obstacle, to continue and seek redress where we were expecting we will give them opportunity to give us a policy direction from the Apex Court. This will determine the future of this country. Secondly, I want to assure you we will immediately reform the election management framework of our party in order to be ready and equipped so that we will face the challenges ahead. We want to start immediately with the coming elections in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa.
The court had dismissed Atiku's petitions on Wednesday, including those of Peter Obi from the Labour Party and the Allied People's Movement, for various reasons including failure to prove their case, among others. Sagir Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Labour Party's presidential candidate in the February 25th election, Peter Obi, has instructed his legal team to immediately challenge the decision of the 5-member Presidential Election Petitions Court led by Justice Simon Haruna Tsammani. Obi made this announcement during a press conference held in Onitsha, Anambra State on Thursday in response to the tribunal's ruling. He expressed his appreciation for the court's contribution to due process and its efforts to strengthen democracy, but disregarded or disagreed with the court's rationale and conclusions in the judgment.
As petitioners in this case, we respect the views and ruling of the court, but we disagree with the court's reasoning and conclusions in the judgment it delivered. It is my intention as the presidential candidate and the intention of Labour Party to challenge this judgment by way of appeal immediately as allowed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The PEPC has rendered its judgment, but that esteemed body is not the final arbiter. The responsibility now falls on the Supreme Court. I do know that the judgment is not conterminous with justice. I implore Nigerians to remain focused, steadfast, and peaceful, and to abide by the rule of law and understand this matter has not reached its logical conclusion.
Meanwhile, Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello on Thursday in Abuja applauded the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal ruling, which affirmed the election of President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima, calling on the aggrieved opposition parties not to dissipate energy seeking to appeal, but accept the verdict in good faith. The Governor, Bello, asked the aggrieved opposition parties to rather deploy the resources at their disposal to other meaningful ventures. On the outcome of the Kogi State Tribunal decision, which nullified the election of two All Progressives Congress, the APC senators, and gave victory to the opposition PDP candidate, Governor Bello sued for calm.
Like you heard from the national chairman yesterday, nothing is as successful as success. We are happy, Nigerians are happy, and the truth is out there. We appreciate all that happened yesterday. The truth has been exposed. Imagine the justices sitting down for almost 14 hours to deliver that landmark judgment yesterday. Nigerians within the country and in diaspora are happy. We are happy. I think it is time to settle down and face governance. And I'll advise all those that feel aggrieved. We have only one country, Nigeria. We must all come together. We must all come together and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and ensure that we fix this country. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think there is any grounds for appeal. I would rather appeal to them that they should drop any appeal going to the higher court and then save the resources, save the troubles, advise their supporters, admonish them that we should accept yesterday's judgment, no flaw.
Now, mixed reactions have continued to trail the verdict of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal on the February 25th presidential election. In Asaba, Jonathan Anwanyai reports that residents of the state expressed mixed feelings over the judgment. His report.
Mixed reactions are trailing the outcome of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal as some residents of Delta State hail and knock the judgment. Some residents who spoke with Trust TV noted that there is no way the tribunal would nullify the election in view of the transparency of the process.
It's expected, very, very much expected, because starting from the campaigns down, you see, elections are not won in social media. They are not won. There must be things on ground and other. And if I should tell you, some of the problem of this country is this unnecessary case, tribunal case and other. They distract the people. If you want to win an election, put a lot of things on ground. Those of you that listen to the case very well, it was based on fact and figures.
You know that the man merited it because I know he campaigned and he won the election. I know the opponent, the oppositions, they want to get their victory from the government, and everything went into the favor of His Excellency. So,
others describe the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal as an indication that there is no hope in the judiciary.
It was sworn in. The case was determined. Before the president was sworn in, you expect a fair judgment. But having been sworn in, when he has taken hold of the federal resources or the state resources, our own common common cake, as he has taken over, you cannot expect a fair judgment in such circumstances.
Happy, I'm not impressed, because we know massively who we voted for, and we were expecting a different outcome. But we are not the lawyers, we are not the judges, we don't know the technicalities which was adopted at reaching what they reached. But as a person, I am expressing my personal opinion, which I think I'm entitled to as a Nigerian.
Others urged the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to strengthen the electoral process so as to gain confidence of the masses. Jonathan Awanyai, Trust TV News.
In health, the state of the primary health care at Rigasa community in Igabi local government area in Kaduna State has become a theme of the residents, concern for the residents of the community. This is due to the poor hygiene, lack of health facilities and drugs for effective health care delivery at the primary level. Trust TV's Bello Musa visited the health care facility and sent in this report.
Rigasa is a community with a sizable population in Kaduna State. This primary health center is one of the few health facilities that people rely on for medical attention, but it is in a sorry state now due to unhygienic environment and poor facility. According to the resident, the condition of the health facilities has become a source of concern for families, and pregnant women and children in the community now find it difficult to access medical attention. There is no decent restroom and a place to look after the sick. The hospital is no longer a health facility because it is in a dilapidated state. The hospital needs attention from the government. When in labor, the women in the community suffer as they only go to the general hospital in Rigasa or to private health facilities to deliver their babies, no matter how urgent the cases are. The residents are appealing to the local government to come to their aid as the facility is under the local government. We want the government to employ more workers, stock more prescriptions, drugs, and provide the necessary facilities. In fact, the hospital cannot cater for the needs of our population. We are calling on the government to come to our aid and renovate the hospital because it is the health facility that is close to us. This will enable us rush our children, pregnant women, and the aged to the facility in case of an emergency. We need more beds in the hospital and more qualified workers. Effort to reach the chairman of Igabi local government were futile. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Meanwhile, primary health care centers in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, have commended Governor Abu Kefas for equipping them with the necessary equipment to provide services to the people. They made the commendation during a visit to the health centers in the council area. The report.
Some of the primary health care centers visited revealed that patients are enjoying a conducive atmosphere while being attended to. In the township PHCC, the hospital overseer Muhammad Ibrahim Abdullahi told newsmen that all the necessary equipment used for healthcare delivery are available, but however, called on government to add more rooms to accommodate other patients. According to him, that is the only challenge they have at the center.
There is lists of the beneficiaries, but they are not patronizing. We don't know, maybe due to the facility, they didn't go and inform the people in the community. We don't know. I think this month that has passed, only 21 beneficiaries they attended clinic.
Lack of some equipment. Secondly, there are drugs. Well, we don't have. We are lacking it. Sometimes we used to prescribe it to patient and bring it so that we will serve the medication.
The in-charge Imam Clinic, Kaswan Yelwa, also applauded the governor and added that since the creation of the state, it was the first time a governor has demonstrated that level of commitment to the welfare of patients and staff in the center. He stated that the only problem they have is unavailability of over-the-counter drugs, which they often ask patients to buy outside the facility.
You know, the facility is too small. So it's just how many beds? It's only 8 beds. So we don't have enough field that we are going to expand the facility. So one of the challenge, people are patronizing to come here, but our ward is so small, it's too small.
They called on government to intensify effort for the benefit of the masses.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll take a look at young Kano fabricators make breakthrough. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here is a recap of our top stories. We brought you Atiku Obi rejects presidential election petition tribunal ruling, head for Supreme Court. And Kaduna community worried over a decline in state of health center. Now moving on to more stories, the Federal Road Safety Corps, the FRSC, Ogun Command, said that 2 persons died while another sustained injury in an accident that involved 2 vehicles and 2 motorcycles on Abeokuta Lagos Expressway. The sector commander of the Anthony Uga confirmed the incident to newsmen on Friday in Ota, saying the accident happened about 5:10 in the morning. Uga said that 3 persons were involved in the accident, which led to the death of 2 persons, a male adult and a female adult, while a male adult sustained severe injuries. The sector commander said that the accident was caused by wrongful overtaking and excessive speed on the part of the trailer driver, leading to a head-on collision with the 2 motorcycles and a Volkswagen vehicle. Uga said that the FRSC operatives in Sango Ota Unit Command carried out rescue operations on Abeokuta Lagos Expressway to ensure the free flow of traffic in the area. Uga commiserated with the families of the deceased and prayed that God should grant them fortitude to bear the loss. A set of 12-year-old twins in Kano State have invented a cooking gas that uses petrol and water, while a 14-year-old has also invented a remote-controlled vehicle. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that an application that allows people to purchase food items directly from farm has also been developed. His report.
Supported by the Center for Information Technology and Development, these young boys had taken the initiative of inventing items that could be of great importance to the nation's economy if perfected.
In this country, two things are lacking. First thing that is lacking is that we have no venture capital. Venture capitals are people who come and listen to these ideas and then put money. Look, this idea is good. I am investing into it. And they put money and say, okay, if I go and develop this, I own 40% of what your business will become. It's just confidence. So we have no that. But we also don't have interaction between innovators and media.
Hassan and Usaini invented a cooking gas that uses both petrol and water to function, while Muazzam Ibrahim invented a remote control ambulance vehicle. Other inventions by these young boys include CCTV camera, a mobile application that allows farmers to sell their farm produce directly from farm, among others.
So the essence of the application is for farmers to sell their product directly from their farm. Not just individual peoples or users can just open the application and see all the products available in someone's farm.
According to CITED, the initiative was supported to give these young ones the opportunity to prove themselves into the world of science and technology.
There's nothing I cherish like seeing young people coming up with ideas that people can appreciate. This is what we need in this country. And if we can develop these young minds, I always tell them, we have talent in this country. All we need is the correct environment. See, if you have not been brought out from where you are, would you ever think of doing all these things that you have done?
For these young scientists, if supported, there will be plenty of innovative ideas to be developed for the overall growth and development of the nation's economy. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kanu.
The Speaker, House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, says crude oil theft has drastically hampered the growth of Nigeria's oil production as Nigeria loses between 5% to 30% of its crude oil production on a daily basis. Abbas, who was represented by the chairman, House Committee on Petroleum Resources Upstream, Alhassan Dogwa, stated this on Thursday in Abuja during the inauguration of the House Ad Hoc Committee investigating crude oil theft and loss of revenue accrued from oil and gas sector in Nigeria. He said data available through the yearly reports of Nigeria Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, the NETI, shows that Nigeria's oil production declined from 2.51 million barrels per day in 2005 to 1.77 million barrels per day in 2020.
NETI reports also show that 619 million barrels of crude valued at over $46 billion were stolen in the period of 2009 to 2020, as the case may be. Nigeria has continually failed to meet its daily production quota as set by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC.
The burden on losses occasioned by oil theft and its associated impact on the economy is completely unacceptable and cannot be tolerated by any government who sincerely love its citizens.
On the international scene, at least 49 civilians and 15 soldiers were killed when militants attacked a military camp and a vessel in northeastern Mali on Thursday, the interim government said. Many more were wounded, it added in a statement read on national television, noting that the death toll was provisional. Insurgents attacked a boat carrying civilians across the flooded plains that separate the towns of Gao and Mopti during the rainy season. The vessel was traveling from Gao when it was hit. Now, the assailants also attacked a military camp in the Borem Circle, an administrative subdivision of the Gao region in Mali's northeast. Around 50 assailants were killed in response and 3 days of national mourning declared, the interim government said. Mali is one of several West African countries battling a violent insurgency with links to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State, the IS, that took roots in its arid north in 2012. And finally, in sports news, the chairperson of the Nigeria Football Federation Women Football Committee and NFF Executive Committee member Aisha Falode has applauded one of the African's most successful and greatest women footballer of all times, Asisat Oshoala, following her nomination as one of the top contenders for the Women Ballon d'Or for the second time in history in Africa. Falode noted that Asisat's contribution to the Super Falcons team's excellent performance at the last edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia, New Zealand, and her consistent top-class performance at club level put the Nigerian striker among the highly rated stars in the world, a situation that earned her the nomination for the Best Player in the World award. Asisat has won a record 5 times to become the first African to set this prestigious record, overtaking Perpetua Nkwoncha, who won on 4 occasions. Oshoala won in 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019 and 2022 to emerge the most celebrated African women footballers of all times. And with that, we wrap up news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms, and you can join our YouTube Live for more programs, news and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.